Welcome to the Lee Etzler Show, a weekly wrap-up and analysis of Churubusco High School Football.
Eagles, what is your profession? Out, out, out.
And now your host, Big Daddy Don Hyatt.
Hi, welcome to the Lee Etzler Show. I'm Dave Crable, sitting in for this week for Don Hyatt. This week, Coach will join us to talk about the convincing 42-0 win over Angola, the upcoming game against West Noble, and senior Eric Kuznar will join us a little bit later. So stick around. We'll be right back after this.
I lost my job and I needed help with different things like prescriptions and energy assistance and stuff. So I contacted United Way. They was the first ones that I could think of. And I went to the agencies that they gave me a list of and got the assistance that I needed from them. Because I received the help from United Way, then I'm volunteering my help out to the community, giving the help that they need.
Hey football fans, do you want to keep track of Churubusco High School football games? Log on to busconews.com every game day and watch up-to-the-minute pregame, halftime, and postgame interviews with head coach Lee Etzler. Stay connected with your computer or on your cell phone. busconews.com. When you can't make it to the game, it's the next best thing to being there.
Hey, welcome back to the Lee Etzler Show. Another convincing win this week. Third shutout in a row, Coach. Eagles are just playing some great football for you.
Yeah, another good week for us. Played pretty fast on defense. Defense played very well again, and we like to play good defense. And with 8 starters returning from the previous year on a pretty good defensive team, I guess more good defense was expected, and so far have met the challenge, and pretty proud of 3 shutouts in a row. 3
shutouts. You started out, well, I think it was Sayers and had a touchdown off to lead the game off in the first score, and Petrie getting kind of back into the passing game a little as well. Yeah,
came out a little bit sloppy on offense. End up punting on our first series. Had I think four penalties right off the bat. Just whatever the reason for those things are. Our mental focus wasn't where it should have been, and put us in a difficult situation offensively, and ended up punting on our first series. But got a pretty good stop there on the next defensive series, and then offense kind of got rolling after that, and Petrie hit Sayers in there for our first touchdown.
Good. I think that was a little homecoming distraction off. You say a little sloppy in that first series.
Don't really have any idea. We've had issues with penalties in the past, and like to think that a lot of times it was just over aggressive situations, but we're procedure penalties right off the bat, and anxious, whether we're too anxious to play. We started off on offense Friday night, and I don't know, concerning, because we're gonna play in some tough football games, and those types of things will hurt us significantly if we do them at the wrong time. So wish I had a good answer for why they happened, but I don't really.
So it was some offensive line penalties. Is that what was kind of?
Yeah, we had. I'd have to look to see exactly what it was, but we had a holding penalty and 2 or 3 procedure penalties, and all of those things right off the bat. And we'd have a couple of those in a row, and then get a long gain, and then another penalty push us back, so we weren't able to get that first down there to start things off. So we'll have to get those things corrected.
Good. And also then it looked like Nicodemus had a long one there, 44-yard run also in that first quarter. Did he bust that loose?
Yeah, broke a few tackles, and I would hate to be an opposing coach and watching film on him, and how are we going to tackle that kid, because I don't know how you do. So he's strong, he moves well, he got pretty good balance, and really, Friday night was just, what we've seen the first 4 weeks out of him. He's a pretty tough kid to give the ball to, so we'll do it as much as we can.
He just power runner, just a juggernaut going. He just refuses to come down, doesn't he, Coach?
Yeah, very, very strong, very fast, so that helps.
Good. Who else stood out in that offensive side for you?
Yeah, well, Corey Miller had another couple nice runs, especially early. Cody Conwell had some runs as well. Gave the ball to him early quite a bit, and Braden Shively, got another 36, 40-yard touchdown on his first offensive carry. So, so pretty much offense was rolling pretty well.
Conwell says 74 yards, so you did get him the ball quite a bit.
Yeah. And it was nice to see. We still need to get better, and there's a concern that with how the first 5 weeks now have gone that we're going to get a little complacent, and we see the coaching staff sees situations on film where we're making some of the same mistakes, and that gets frustrating. So things are going to get more difficult. So we got to start correcting those things, but. Pretty good effort overall.
Good. Anything else you want to talk about on offense, Coach? We might take a quick break and then we'll come back and talk about some defense. What else on your mind about offense?
Well, other than correcting some of the things that I talked about, think that we've been doing a pretty good job of blocking downfield well. Our kids hustle quite a bit. You watch. Some of the film we see of other teams, and you might see guys take plays off and play goes away from them, and they don't make an attempt to get involved in the play. Our kids so far have done a pretty good job of getting themselves in position, whether it's running across the field to get a downfield block and an offensive lineman, or spread end or backside halfback, things like that. We've done a pretty good job of getting involved in the play, and I think that's been pretty good to see. Just need to clean up a few of the mistakes that we've been making.
Good. All right. Stick around. We'll be back after this. And everyone stick around. We'll be right back to talk to Coach about the great third shutout in a row defense. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Oh, man. Wow.
I lost my job and I needed help with different things like prescriptions and energy assistance and stuff. So I contacted United Way. They was the first ones that I could think of. And I went to the agencies that they gave me a list of and got the assistance that I needed from them. Because I received help from United Way, then I'm volunteering my help out to the community, giving the help that they need.
Hey football fans, do you want to keep track of Churubusco High School football games? Log on to busconews.com every game day and watch up-to-the-minute pregame, halftime, and postgame interviews with head coach Lee Etzler. Stay connected with your computer or on your cell phone. busconews.com. When you can't make it to the game, it's the next best thing to being there.
Welcome back. We're here talking with Churubusco's head coach Lee Etzler about the defense. Lee, this has been playing some great D this year. Third shutout in a row. You got to be proud of your kids.
Yeah, played well, and each team poses at least somewhat of a different challenge offensively. They had a couple kids they like to throw the ball to. One 6'4", 190 some pounds, had quite a few catches going into our game, and another one, the Bauer kid, well over 200 yards receiving going into the game, and they got the ball to those kids some. We did a pretty good job of covering them up and staying in front of them when they did catch the ball. So different test for us defensively, and responded pretty well. So again, played pretty fast. Still need to get better with some angles and things like that, but played pretty fast, and when you play fast, you're going to be successful.
Some of the big names in that D, Zoombrun, Tegan Broombaugh, some of those guys I noticed were really starting to stack up some tackles too, 4, 5, 6 each during the game. How they play pretty well.
Pretty well, and our outside linebackers have played well all year. We asked those guys to do a lot, and whether it's playing physical on a tight end, in running situations, or out on the flank trying to stay in front of receivers and disrupting them and getting involved in the passing game. They played well again, got after the quarterback, and don't remember exactly, I think 4 or 5 sacks, and also quite a few other, getting to the quarterback and making the quarterback feel uncomfortable. So very, very important when the team likes to throw the ball a little bit, and You make that quarterback uncomfortable. Now, I thought their quarterback played very well, played tough. He got hit quite a few times, and he hung in there and you know, stayed pretty strong in the second half and still found some receivers. But, you know, we asked those outside linebackers to do a lot, and they've been pretty successful at what they do, whatever it is, stopping the run, playing physical, you know, playing on the edge and defending the passing game, getting after the quarterback. Probably one of the more difficult positions you can ask a kid to play with all the responsibilities. So Joe Zungrim, Tegan Broomball, you know, Sam Siddons played very well again. Eric Kuznar on the defensive line, you know, kind of evaluated him a little bit specifically this weekend, and you know, probably haven't had too many better guys up front than him, you know, over the years. So he's big, he's physical, does a pretty good job of punching the offensive lineman, which is important to what we do, and pursues pretty well. You know, he'll make plays at him, you know, but what's also impressive, you know, he might make a play 10 yards downfield when it's run away from him, and that's you know, pretty good quickness out of a big guy, pretty good hustle out of a big guy. So, and he also plays offense quite a bit. So he's done a pretty good job, and did a pretty good job again Friday night.
Eric's going to be our guest here pretty soon, and he's going to come in. Anything else about his, how he's been for his 4 seasons here, Lee? Yeah,
well, he's not sure we've had another kid do this, and I don't think we've had. But from game 1 his freshman year, started for us. Wow. Started at center, and wow. You know, a lot of times, you know, we've had guys that can physically do it. You might have a big kid as a freshman, or a fast kid as a freshman, and they're physically ready to play, but it's the mental side. Are they mentally tough enough to handle everything that's thrown at him? Well, you know, and center's a pretty demanding position to play, and from game 1 his freshman year started there. So, excuse me. So he has as much experience as anybody. And you know, has gotten bigger, has gotten faster, has gotten stronger through the years, has worked extremely hard, and been a pretty good leader for us, you know, on both sides of the ball. So he's played extremely well, and like I said, I'm not sure we've had a better one.
Nobody's ever started for you for 4 seasons in a row.
No one's ever, and you know, he's done a pretty good job, but also I think has improved significantly since last year, and you know, a lot of times, you know, a kid starting early, you might think, well, huge potential and things like that, and a lot of times that's the case, but he's worked pretty hard to make himself better, and he wouldn't be the player he is today if he hadn't put in the hours and in the off season and in the weight room, and so he's done a great job for us.
Good, look forward to talking to him. You can stick around. We're going to come back and talk about that West Nobles game that's coming up. Yep. Okay. Everyone stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to be here to talking with senior offensive line and defensive lineman Eric Kuznar.
I lost my job and I needed help with different things like prescriptions and energy assistance and stuff. So I contacted United Way. They was the first ones that I could think of. And I went to the agencies that they gave me a list of and got the assistance that I needed from them. Because I received the help from United Way, then I'm volunteering my help out to the community, giving the help that they need.
Hey football fans, do you want to keep track of Churubusco High School football games? Log on to busconews.com every game day and watch up-to-the-minute pregame, halftime, and postgame interviews with head coach Lee Etzler. Stay connected with your computer or on your cell phone. busconews.com. When you can't make it to the game, it's the next best thing to being there.
Hey, welcome back to the Lee Etzler Show. I'm real happy to have our special guest this week, senior 4-year starter, Eric Kuznar. Eric, welcome to the show.
Hi.
I'm glad you're here. Been 4-year starter on offensive line, 3-year starter on defensive line. You're just, how's the team going for you? How's the season this year going for you?
It's going pretty well. Every year is fun, and we have a really good atmosphere on the team, real good work ethic. So everything we do is fun.
So you're one of the team captains, is that right? Then you've been. Were you captain last year or just this year's season?
No, just this year.
Yeah. This is a tricky question, but how's this team feel as far as the other ones you played on? This is just as good a team as you've been playing on the last 4 seasons.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, we have a lot more size, and we lost some speed, but we're not slow. So, I mean, this team isn't perfect by any means, so we have a lot of stuff we need to work on and get evened out, but every year is a special feeling.
It is? Every year is, huh?
Yeah.
They're all different.
Yeah.
You guys seem to be more stacked, more deeper into positions. You know, you're 2-3 players deep, it seems, in a lot of positions this year. You know, as a team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you like playing better, Eric? You like the offensive side of the ball or defense? I know you've been kind of getting in that defensive game a lot.
Yeah. If I had to pick one, I would probably say defense, but I love the offensive line too. They're both unique.
You guard or tackle now?
I'm a tackle.
You're tackle.
Yeah.
You've been tackle last 3 years? Or
last 2 years.
Last 2 years. You started off your freshman year, coach said earlier, as a center, and,
right.
and he said he was pretty impressed because it takes a lot of mental aptitude to get it done. And he said you were a pretty special athlete because they've had athletes like you, but he said as far as the mental game goes, I mean, he's really tickled with how you're coming. So how's it feel to play for coach and Doc and all those guys?
It feels great. Our coaching staff really pushes us, make sure we hold ourselves accountable for when we mess up, make sure that we work hard in the weight room, and all those extra things that really help translate to better performance on the football field, which translates into wins.
Do you think mental toughness, I know Doc was here last week talking about the weight room, and I know he says you really work hard, and you and Nicodemus have been one of the hardest workers he's ever had in the weight room, and he said it really helps with the mental toughness. I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think that really helps with the mental toughness?
Yeah, it does. Because when you're up in the weight room, you know, nothing feels good while you're doing it. So it really helps to be able to push through, do a couple more reps, a couple extra reps, really push yourself.
It's paying off though, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It really is.
Yeah.
Been pretty phenomenal. I know it's a tricky question, but and I've kind of asked you earlier about the team, but the defense, man, I'm telling you what, this has been one of the best Ds I've seen in a few years back here. I mean, what's your take on this D this year?
It's good. We're a lot bigger up front. We have everyone back on the defensive line and most people back everywhere else. So that really helps to have that experience. We really emphasize on flying around, hitting, because if we hit the other team, most of the time we can start winning that mental battle. So.
Take the will away, and then you're rolling, and then you're going. How tough is it mentally? I know we're staying at mental game for a second. How tough is it when you guys are blowing teams out like you are to keep everybody focused and keep everybody going? Coach said there was some penalties and stuff the first part of the Angola game this week, but how difficult is it to keep you and the kids in the game and the rest of your teammates, and is it going, or is it just coming natural?
Well, it's definitely difficult when you haven't had like a real hard game, but our coaches really emphasizing taking pride in what we do, and as long as you take pride in what we do and really because that breaks down every play, doing our job correctly, making sure we do stuff right, that'll just take care of ourselves, and we pride ourselves on playing hard no matter what. So
it's pretty awesome, Eric. What's your plans after high school?
I'm definitely going to college, and I definitely want to play football in college. I'm going to start going to some universities starting next weekend to look at their programs.
Have you had any interest in schools?
Yeah.
A couple Indiana schools, or?
No,
actually.
Yeah.
Oh, Eric. No, I'm just kidding. But. Okay, hey Eric, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you taking your time and spending it with us. Sit right there. We'll be right back after this. Everybody stay tuned. We'll be right back after this to talk to head coach Lee Etzler about the upcoming battle against West Noble.
I'm Eric Kuznar, and you're watching Lee Etzler Show.
I lost my job and I needed help with different things like prescriptions and energy assistance and stuff. So I contacted United Way. They was the first ones that I could think of. And I went to the agencies that they gave me a list of and got the assistance that I needed from them. Because I received the help from United Way, then I'm volunteering my help out to the community, giving the help that they need.
Hey football fans, do you want to keep track of Churubusco High School football games? Log on to busconews.com every game day and watch up-to-the-minute pregame, halftime, and postgame interviews with head coach Lee Etzler. Stay connected with your computer or on your cell phone. busconews.com. When you can't make it to the game, it's the next best thing to being there.
Hey, welcome back to Lee Etzler Show. We want to thank Eric Kuznar for a great interview. He's a good kid and wish him well in the future. Coach, what do you know about West Noble this year?
Pretty good size, and they're a team that always has some pretty good sized kids. So always a special challenge when you're playing against a bigger team. Pretty big guys up front. Number of kids with some experience. Offensively, they'll have two backs in the backfield and some misdirection stuff, and May Horder kid, over 600 yards rushing, and pretty strong kid and fast. You got over 600 yards. You're doing something pretty good running the ball. Like to throw it to a big tight end. They have a 6'4", 6'5", 220-pound tight end. They like to get the ball to, and he's been difficult for people to handle. And also have another running back they like to get the ball to. So they'll share it a little bit and have enough weapons where we got to be on our toes defensively. And probably different than recent weeks. They're going to come at us a little more than what we've seen. So that poses a different challenge. We've had success in the past. We move pretty well on the defensive side of the ball, and that definitely helps when on plays on the flank and things like that, plays in open space. Well, they're going to come at us a little more than what we've seen. So we're going to have to be physical and keep those things in front of us. Defensively, pretty good size up front. Couple 3-year defensive starters, and the May Horder kid and Medina kid, and some strength. They don't have a lot of depth, so I think they've struggled with that this year. But the kids they have on the field can pose us some issues, and they'll get fired up to play us every now and then. We came in different records in 2009, and they came fired up, ready to play, and we weren't. And I think the score was 7-6 at halftime. So and didn't play real well that whole game. We're surprised at being in that situation. So it could be a situation if we don't show up to play. Just like any week. But this is a team that in the past has specifically gotten up to play us. So we got to make sure we have our bases covered.
They always get schemed, and they always take it right to you, and they just, like you said in the past, they bang it in and try to wear you down a little bit. Yeah, and it's different. Takes away your speed advantage a little bit if they can kind of come at you, and we've had some success with the passing game the last few weeks, and they'll throw the ball a little bit, but more over the top of you, and their running game's kind of right at you. Their linemen are big. They pull pretty well, and showed the kids film today where they're kicking guys out, they're walling off, they're double teaming, and better than what we've seen other teams do on film. So we're going to have to come ready to play. Looking forward to the challenge. Could be fun, Lee. That's this Friday night at West Noble. At West Noble. All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you taking your time every week, Coach, and coming out. Hey, we want to thank Churubusco's head coach Lee Etzler for taking time out of his busy schedule to come talk to us every week. We really do appreciate it. Off to West Noble. We're 5-0 this year. It's going to be a good season for us, hopefully. We look forward to the rest of the season. Thanks a lot for everybody watching the games. Don't forget that pregame, halftime, and postgame interview with Coach. That's always a lot of fun. We'll see you hopefully this Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Thanks a lot. We'll see you.